This is video number 2 for Chapter 11 in the Microsoft Excel 2013 Comprehensive Textbook, and I'm on page 706. And we want to go to the Review tab up here. He always calls that the ribbon. I think that's the tab and this is the ribbon. Click on the Share Workbook button. And we want to allow changes by more than one user at the same time here. So this would be if you had a file stored on a network drive someplace and everybody had access to it. It's possible that more than one person could have access and open that file at the same time. And then we want to click on OK, and that will allow us to share it with other users. And yes, we can click on OK here. And now we've got a few things that are not going to be easy to do at home. It says, if possible, have a classmate open a second copy of the workbook, and we can't really do that. So we're going to have to skip a few things here. Okay, so since we can't do that, we're going to have to go all the way over to page 708. And on number 6, it says, ask the second user to close the workbook, and it was never opened in the first place, so we're kind of back to where we started. And then we want to go to our Share Workbook button again on Review here, and click on that, and we want to turn that off. That's what number 6 tells us to do. And then click on OK, that's number 7 at the top, and then click on Yes if this box comes up. Okay, now we're on page 709, and now we're coming to a feature that actually is useful, a feature called Track Changes. This also applies in Word if you're collaborating on a Word document with somebody. You can have one person create a document, have another person edit the document, and if Tracking Changes is turned on when you get the document back, you can easily see all of the changes that they made, and that's on a large workbook, that would be a useful thing. It would make it a lot easier for you to see what changes were made. So let's go to the bottom of page 709, number 1, and we want to click on Track Changes on the Review tab here. We want to click on Track Changes, and that'll give us a little menu here, and we want to click on Highlight Changes here, and then we want to turn on the checkbox here. It says click the Track Changes while editing. This also shares your workbook. And then we want to click on any boxes here that are on to clear these 3. And then we want to click on OK to close that, and we get this little dialog box, and we click on OK here. We're now at the top of page 711, and another way to share documents instead of putting them on a network drive for other people to share. You may want to email a file to somebody. So with Excel Active, click on the File tab, and we want to go to Backstage View here, and we want to click on Share over here on the left side, and we should get something that looks like this. And then we want to click on Email down here, and we'll get these options over here on the right, and this should match what you see on page 711 at the top. And then we're going to click on Send as an Attachment. And this is going to try to open my email account here, and it's probably not going to work. And I was wrong. It did open up my email, and so if I wanted to, I would put in any email addresses here, and I would send it off with the attachment. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to close this. Okay, and now we're talking about SkyDrive on page 712. It's no longer called SkyDrive because Microsoft had a problem with the word sky. Apparently somebody in England had trademarked it, even though I don't think they had trademarked the word SkyDrive. So Microsoft has changed it to OneDrive. And I know if you're a WIT student, you should have access to OneDrive automatically. And if you're not a WIT student, OneDrive is free. What you need to do is go to onedrive.live.com and sign up for it, and they automatically give you 15 gigabytes, which is actually quite a bit of space. You could probably put all 4 years worth of homework assignments for 4 years of college out there and have room left over, unless you're doing a lot of video editing or something like that. But if you're just doing papers and spreadsheets and presentations and stuff like that, that's a lot of room, and it's free. So I encourage you to check it out. I use it many times every day. Another neat feature of SkyDrive is that you can sync it with more than one computer. So I can sync it with my work computer, I can sync it with my home computer, and when those computers are on, if changes are made to a file on SkyDrive, those changes are automatically downloaded to both of the computers. And so I have local access, which means I can be offline, disconnected from the internet. I can edit a file in my SkyDrive folder, and then when I get back online, SkyDrive, the little app that you download for your computer, will check with OneDrive. I still call it SkyDrive all the time too, but it'll check with OneDrive and see if it needs to update the cloud version, the OneDrive version. And so everything stays synced, and you don't even have to be connected to the internet, and you can still do some editing. So it's pretty cool. Check it out. Okay, so we're still on page 712 down at the bottom, and we want to open analysis 1. So let's go to file here, and it did say to close this one. I didn't do that. So let's go to file and do close, and then go to file, and we want to do an open, and I want to go out here to let me see, my data files, but this is the wrong folder. I think I want chapter 11, and I want that's homework data files. Let me see. Chapter 11, and I want analysis 1, and let's open that up. And click on Enable Editing if that comes up on your computer. And now we want to go to the Review tab. And we want to click the Track Changes button here again. And we want to do Highlight Changes. Okay. And when the Highlight Changes dialog box comes up, remove the check marks and from When here, and click OK. And now we will see a number of cells here that have boxes around them, and they're different colors. Some are purple and some are green. And if I pause my mouse over this one, Martin O'Toole did that one, and Martin O'Toole did that one. And if I go down here, Abigail Windsor did this, and Abigail did this one, and I'll bet Abigail did this one too. So Abigail's changes are going to have a green box around them, and who's the other guy? Martin is going to have a purple box around his changes. So it says point to cell D9, which is this one, and a comment comes up that tells us what was done. And yeah, Martin changed D9 from 0 to 912. And we want to go back to track changes here. And now we want to decide whether we're going to accept or reject those changes. So click on accept/reject changes. And turn all of these off. Go to the top of page 715, and we want to click the OK button. And now it's going to go through the changes here. I'm going to drag this off the side a little bit so I can see all of my worksheet here. And it shows us the first one, and it tells us what happened. We can go look at it and see if we want to accept it or reject it. And number 7 on page 715 says we want to accept it, so click on accept. And it's going to go through all 5 changes here, and we want to accept all of them. So accept, 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 accept. And now turn over to page 716, and we want to click on show all comments here, and it will show all of the comments. And we want to right click A7, which is right here, and right click, and we want to delete the comment. We want to go to A9 and right click and delete the comment, and we want to go to A12 and right click and delete the comment. And it says resize the comment for F13 so that all of the text is visible. F13 is right here, and it's not quite all visible, so let's make this a little bit bigger here, and now we can see the whole thing. And it should look pretty much like what you see on the middle of page 716. And we want to turn this off again, so this is just a toggle button. Click on show all comments. And now we're at the bottom, and we want to save this with a new name. So we're going to call this Vacation Rentals Analysis 2. Well, I've already used that number, so I'm going to do Save As, and I'm going to call it Rentals Analysis 3. And let me see, we're going to have to browse here. Okay, and this is where we want to save it, and I've already got one out there called 2, so I'm going to back up over this and make it 3 instead. And click on Save. And now at the top of page 717, we're going to turn off tracking changes. So we want to go to the Review tab, which we are already on, and we want to click on the Track Changes option here to display the menu. And we want to click on Highlight Changes, and then we want to turn off track changes while editing, and then we want to click on OK, and then we're going to get that error message probably that's also on the bottom of page 717, and we want to click OK. I'm sorry, click on Yes, and that and then it says close all of our workbooks. And that didn't close, that was a save. Let's go to File here and do Close. And that's a good place to stop this video.